Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the King of the Dads YouTube channel, and today we're going to do our very first review of my trusty Garmin Vivoactive HR3. Okay, so I've had this watch for about a year now. Received it as a present last year very kindly, and it cost about £180 at the time, £190. That would equate to $200, $230, something along those lines. And I bought that as a replacement for my Vivoactive HR2, which I had for a year or two before that. So you can see this one's not doing so well. No longer works, had a few bashes on the screen. Pretty happy with the watch overall, generally, but as you can see, it sort of looks a bit more plasticky, a bit more rubbery, not as much of a smart formal wear watch, a bit more like the other Fitbits and stuff like that on the market. Whereas this one, I think they've actually done a good job. Got a new metal bezel on there, looks nice and smart. I wear it, I do a lot of weddings, work a lot of weddings and that type of thing, and I'm more than happy wearing this as a watch, which I think is sort of smart enough and works, well along a shirt and formal trousers and that type of thing. So yeah. So I had it about a year. This is all of the wear and tear it's received so far. So I wear this every day, do a lot of picking up, pulling around, dropping down, getting stuff in and out of vans and that type of thing. And I think it's got what they call Gorilla Glass on it. So far so good. It's, holding up pretty well, especially compared to the other one, which you can see is taking quite a bit of damage. So I received this one. So like I said, this is the Vivoactive 3. If I just phase up to the box there, I think there was a more expensive model which has the capability to store music on it and do playback and that type of thing, but I didn't think I needed that. I've got this synced up with my phone anyway, so you can do you can use controls to control music on your phone, up and down the volume. I'll show you those bits and bobs in a second. So yeah, you can go for the higher model, but for what I needed to, I really didn't think that was necessary. This has now been superseded, I think, by a Garmin Vivoactive HR4, which has recently come to the market. I'll try and get a hold on one of those at some point to give it a review. But for now, like I said, I've had this one. The price of this one's obviously come down since the new one's come out, so I think this is really competitive now for the price. So if this one went wrong, I think I'd be more than happy to get a new one. So basically, it has plug and play. Plug it in to charge it. So you pop it in. You've got a little cable which plugs into your USB port. So I just use my iPhone's port for that one. It takes about an hour to charge up, and then with everyday usage, it lasts for about 5 or 6 days. So pretty minimal upkeep and altogether, I'd say. So I charged it this morning, and we're on 87% left. So we're looking pretty good. Okay, so like I said, it is by it's Garmin Vivoactive, so it's by a well-known American manufacturer, Garmin, who make a lot of GPS software. They've now obviously moved into the field of wearables and wearable technology and that type of thing. So yeah, it's going to be doing pretty well. So compared to the old one, I had this for a couple of years before, and we had a bit of water damage that got on the top. I think I took it swimming one time. That obviously affected the functionality because it's touchscreen, so the touchscreen didn't work very well. I was in touch then with the Garmin customer services to get it fixed, and after a bit of to and fro and sent it back to them, and I think they sent me out a refurbished model to replace that, which would be the one that this is. But the only problem with that was I think they gave me a 3-month warranty with that one. So if there's any issues with that one, only had a 3-month warranty as opposed to the normal full 1-year manufacturer's warranty that you would get over here in the UK and most likely in the US as well when it's first released. So a little bit dubious about that because we had the issues in the first place, but it did stand up and it did last a little bit longer until ultimately it had its nasty demise where again smashed screen, that type of thing. So yeah, this one so far so good. So essentially had about a year, wear it every day. Compared to the old two, it has pretty much the same sort of functionality. It's got a HR monitor, records all your sports activities, records your steps. I use it regularly for cycling, both road and mountain biking, occasionally for running. Took it snowboarding to Japan. This year used it in conjunction with Ski Tracks, which is an app I use over there. I also use it in conjunction with Strava when I'm cycling, but I find it's really good just to sort of capture the stuff and have it on there as well. And it syncs up with an app called the Garmin Connect app, which is really good and has lots of functionality on it, but I'll talk about that later. Hey, that's my missus. She's just got a thing because we've got shared calendars, so let's get rid of that. So yeah, you got all that sort of stuff as well. So let's have a little closer look now. So if I pick it up, This is the design of the watch face which I've chosen, so you can personalise this in here, watch face. So I've gone traditional design, but you can customise yourself, create one, have a digital look. I think on Garmin Connect there's also lots of other options which you can choose as well, so plenty of options for customisation. On there it's got my stair count, how many flights of stairs I've been able to do today out of 10. Got my step count, has my activity minutes for the week as well. So if we go through a little bit further, does all the sort of stuff you normally expect of a watch with stopwatches, countdown timers, and all the different bits and bobs. But it has then your built-in widgets. So we have here my last sport. This is when I was playing around with yesterday, so I measured my last sport of doing absolutely nothing at all. But if I go back to Sunday when I went out for a little bike ride, then it will go in and it will show my distance, the time I was out, average speed, maximum speed, calories burned, average heart rate, ascent, and that sort of thing as well. So, you know, us guys are pretty geeky, so it's good to see the stats and stuff like that on there as well, and ladies, of course, as well. So it shows all your different bits and bobs there. Within all these screens, it's got a secondary screen, so primary screen, secondary screen, where it goes and it does a bit more detail. So I've also got my step count set up there at 9,000. I'm up to 6.5 today. I think you can set your own targets of say 10,000, 15,000, whichever, which would be static, and you've got to try and hit that every day, or like as I've got it set up, it will just give you a target. If you go above your target, it raises your target for the next day for you to try and beat. If you fall under your target, then it would give you a lesser amount, so it would drop down. So if you can see how I've done over the 7 days, been in the office a few days, so a couple of days I've hit the targets, a couple of days I haven't, so it goes up and down a little bit. Okay, so also we've got set up in there the number of flights of stairs you've been up that day, the weather. So if you go into that, that will give you a little bit more detail about the temperatures and the hours, and then also the days, which corresponds to my iPhone. So you need to sync that up every now and then to do with Garmin Connect for it to maintain the functionality of a couple of apps, and the weather is one of them. So if you don't sync that up for long enough, then you will lose that. Here I've got my notifications from calendars and Messenger, different bits and bobs. And then we've got calendar notifications as well. And we've got low battery from doing this, so let's skip out of that. Okay, so this shows your weekly activity minutes. This is the music playback function. So again, I've got it via Bluetooth to my phone, so you can press play music that you're playing, skip tracks, also user volume and stuff like that, which is very handy when you give your kids your phone first thing in the morning to shut them up. You're trying to get a bit more sleep. There you stick on YouTube Kids at full blast, and you can sneakily lower the volume there. So there you go, life hack, cheap trick for you. So this is a heart rate monitor, which is pretty good. So that shows the last 4 hours activity. We've hit a low of 52 beats per minute. We've hit a high of 126. Okay, so you click into that a bit further, and it shows your average heart rate over the last 7 days. This seems to be pretty accurate, pretty good. That obviously then helps dictate your stress zones and stuff like that, which it shows you in the sports activities, and also helps work out your activity minutes for the week. So it's pretty good, seems pretty accurate, that one, and I enjoy wearing that and using it. And this shows your summary for the week, or summary for the day rather, so that's 3 flights of stairs, number of steps, number of calories I've burned, and you can tweak the settings and stuff like that as well. Within here, you can also change the widgets that show. So that was a widgets I have available that you've just seen, and you can do those within settings and activities apps, and you can add different activities that you'd like. So like I said, I use it for biking, use it to running very occasionally, use it for snowboarding, you can also use it at the gym, cardio. It's also got these ones as well, which you can add. And then it's got your widgets, which are the ones I just showed you actually. So that shows the bits that actually show up on the phone when you scroll up or down, and you can also add those and tweak those and add a few other functions as well. So it's got lots of opportunities for tweaking it, personalising it to sort of activities that you do, activities you want to use it for. Yeah, all in all, pretty good. So if I just give you a quick run through of the sports activity, for example. So if we click on their bike, so you just jump out on your bike, go out for a ride. This waits for the GPS to hook up. It's normally a bit quicker if you do this outside, but if you're inside, it could take a couple of minutes. You go out outside in the fresh air. It normally settles in about 30 seconds. Then if I kick in that to start, so you want to do this for the duration of your ride, just like you would do with Strada. That shows your time that you've been out in general, your distance, your speed, your lap time, which I've got set up for 5 miles at the moment. So every time that'll show your splits throughout it, average speed, distance, speed, back to the beginning. Okay, but yeah, I find that pretty good. Like I say, I use this in conjunction with Strava, and they both show similar sort of functions, mapping functions, that type of thing. Yeah, it's pretty handy. I connect it to Garmin Connect. Garmin Connect is really good, great app that it shows. Loads and loads of details on there, goes into a lot of detail. You can set targets, you can challenge people that also use Garmin Connect. It shows all your activities through the past months and days and stuff like that, which is really good. Lots of sort of functionality. If anything, I'd say, to be honest with you, it's a bit too busy. It's almost got too much going on. But that's first world problems. That's you can't complain with that. It's really good. There's lots of stuff you can do about it. You can do route setting. You can link it up to your Strava account. I think you can link it up to a thing called Swim Tag, which is what I use when I go to the pool. I'm a bit paranoid about getting it wet now since the issues that I had with the active Vivoactive HR2. But yeah, no, really good. Lots of functionality. Garmin have really tried to sort of pull out all the stops on that one. So yeah, it's also got a few other bits on there. It's got something called Garmin Pay, which I suppose is a bit of a gimmick. That it's trying to do like Apple Pay. I don't know if that will ever take off. I've never actually seen it in any shops or anything like that, but it does show that it's trying to, that we're kind of on the cusp of introducing those bits and bobs, and that Garmin are kind of trying to match Apple for this sort of similar functionality that they're offering on the Apple Watch. But I would say more of an activity watch. This is where it really excels. That alongside the personalisation, the smartness of it, how it looks, the toughness as an everyday watch, I'd say it's really, really good. Overall rating, I'd say 9 out of 10. Works really well, been happy with it. Like you said, I've had it for a year, no major issues with it. If it did happen to break on me, I think I'd be more than happy getting another one. It's got the new ones come out, so have a look at that, and I will try and get some reviews on there soon as well. Okay, but if you are buying someone a present, then I think for the price that is offered, this is a fantastic way to go. Like I said, it was about £190, £200 this last year. It's dropped down now. It's now on Amazon, I think, for about £150. There's a white model that I spotted for about £125, which for the money is a fantastic, absolute bargain. You could do a lot worse than that. So there's a couple of links in the bottom of this. If you do fancy buying it, just plug through that to take you straight to the link. But hope that's been used for you if you're thinking about buying one of these. This is my first review for King of the Dads YouTube channel. We're going to have lots more reviews coming for you soon, and they're going to obviously get a bit fancier and a bit funkier as we go. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, and have a good day, y'all. Cheers, bye-bye.